Mi nombre es Laura Raquel Portillo de Novak y la forma en que lo conocí a mi esposo fue raro. Creo que fue el destino que tenía ahí planeado algo. Lo conocí el 18 de febrero del 2023 por una página de citas. Entré más o menos el 10 de febrero a esa página y había puros locos de mentes. Y ya ese día, el 18 de febrero, tenía planeado cerrar mi página. Y cuando iba a apretar el botón de delete, apareció el saludo de él. Hola, me dijo. Y cuando vi su foto, sentí como que un escalofrío me agarró. Y lo saludé. Y empezamos a hablar por Messenger. Y no sé, fue fantástico porque cuando vi su foto, yo sabía que él iba a ser mi esposo. No me preguntes cómo, yo soy muy supersticiosa. Sabía que él iba a ser mi esposo. Y hablamos como por un lapso de 1 hora y me dijo, yo tengo que ir a cenar con mi familia y regreso en 2 horas, pero déjame tu número de teléfono. Bueno, lo esperé 2 horas, lo esperé hasta la 1, a las 2 de la mañana y no apareció. Y al otro día me escribió y no le hice caso, lo voy a castigar, dije. Pero ya cerré, terminé de hablar con él y cerré definitivamente esa página. Y al otro día me envió un mensaje a la mañana y no le hice caso. A la siesta tampoco le hice caso, después a la noche empezamos a hablar. Y desde allí nos enamoramos, desde el 18 de febrero. Estamos enamorados, sí.
So, what's your side of the story?
On my side, my name is Ronald Novak. I reside in Florida, Central Florida, and dating is very difficult. Very difficult. You just can't go up to a woman in a grocery store and say, "Hey, you want to go out?" I joined a dating site, and had a conversation with Laura. And next thing you know, a couple months went by, and I said, you know, I enjoy listening to her. Some of the translation kind of changed on the internet, but her giggle is what got me. I, after 2 months, decided, let's find out if it's real. So I flew here, and my son, Dad, you're a nut. You're gonna go there, they're gonna hold you as hostage. They're gonna demand money. My customer friends are like, don't call me if you need $1 million to get out. So I get to Paraguay. It was an all-day flight. And Laura tells me that she'll be holding a balloon so I could find her.
Excuse me. Bueno, nos conocimos el 18 de febrero y él más o menos el 20 de abril me dice, voy a Paraguay, ya tengo los pasajes. Y yo, este está loco. No, ¿qué va a hacer acá? No, es mentira, no creo. Y me muestra los tiquetes. No sé, a la 1 hora fui a comprar pinturas. Yo sola empecé a pintar toda mi casa. Fue como 5 días de pintar, o sea, me pinté todo yo. Pedí permiso en el trabajo, pero tenía un 50-50, que venía, que me mentía y que era cierto. Hasta que llegó el 26 de abril y fui a buscarlo al aeropuerto. Y lo veo venir y él pasa a mi lado, no me reconoce. Dejo que pase y le toco el hombro y le digo que yo soy Laura. Y me mira de pie a cabeza y me dice, esperaba una mujer pequeña. No pensé que estaría una mujer grande y hermosa.
Too funny. So, I get to the airport. I come out of the back area, and I'm looking around because she had told me how tall she was in centimeters. My math did not equate how tall she was. I'm thinking there's a smaller woman, 5 foot tall or less. I'm looking everywhere. Now my heart's starting to race. My son is in my head. You're gonna be scammed. This is a scam, Dad. She's probably somewhere else and you're not gonna find her. So I'm looking around and I see that you can exchange money. So I'm headed there. to start taking some of my American money, put it in the Guarani, and then take a trip to a hotel and then the next day fly out. And she taps me on the shoulder.
Excuse me, honey. Bueno, él me dice, yo esperaba a una mujer pequeña. Y yo le digo, yo esperaba al típico americano de 2 metros alto. Pero bueno, estás guapo, me gustas.
I was expecting an American, a really tall American, but at the end of the day, I really like you because you're handsome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, she had me in stitches because she was wearing high heels and was taller than me. I was like, oh my God, you know? So we left there and ventured into the city, and it was still early in the morning. Our love story started then, you know?
Cabe destacar también que cuando él llegó al país, yo estuve con chikungunya. Él vino 5 días. Los 5 días yo estuve con más de 40 de fiebre, vomitaba, día y noche vomitaba. Pero él estuvo conmigo, él estuvo cuidándome.
I was sick with chikungunya by the time that you came, and I was like 40 degrees with fever. I was vomiting.
Oh.
And actually, he was with me when I was sick.
Yeah, craziness, you know. In all of our photos, she was like red.
En todas las fotos que yo saqué, estabas toda roja por la
Sí,
fiebre.
sí.
And she didn't lead on that she was sick until after I left. So, kind of crazy, you know.
Creo que él se enamoró de mí porque yo soy muy sencilla, yo soy del campo, yo crecí en el campo con muchas falencias y desde un comienzo le mostré mi casa, le mostré mi verdad, o sea, cómo soy yo en verdad. No puse filtros, no puse nada, así como soy. Creo que eso fue lo que él hizo que se enamorara de mí y que soy muy trabajadora.
Exactamente. I'm going to ask the same question. She just said something about like what were the things that you saw in her opinion, but we would like to know what were the things that you took into consideration to fall in love with her. What called the attention to you?
What caused her devotion. Laura's devotion to me and my well-being is so much different than most of the American women. The way that she dotes on me, her family, just the general conversations that we have over the phone, messenger, you know, sure, sometimes it doesn't translate right, but mainly the care. The way that she was raised here in Paraguay, her family, you know, her mother.
Cabe decir que mi familia pensó que yo estaba loca. Yo pintando toda la casa y ellos me miraban. En verdad pensaron que yo me estaba volviendo loca. Porque no creían.
The family thought that she was getting crazy. She was actually going crazy because the family started seeing her painting the house. Because she knew that you were coming.
Yes, she sent me pictures of that.
De hecho,
they were out there whitewashing, and I'm like, this is a Tom Sawyer moment, you know, when they were painting a fence. You know?
Prácticamente un momento de Tom Sawyer cuando estaba pintando en este caso la cerca.
It's too funny.
Y fui a buscarlo como a las 5 de la mañana. Al día siguiente, cuando despertó y mi familia lo vieron, era como Condorito, toda mi familia, ¡ploc! Era cierto.
There's a character that's called Condorito. It's like when you fall up, down, because you are kind of speechless because they saw you.
They saw.
Yeah. So she just used an analogy of a
Oh.
very South American
Okay.
character. Yeah.
That's too funny. So my Spanish is very small in vocabulary. I can pick out certain words, especially when it comes to written stuff. I can make out a lot. I was not educated in a foreign language. I had a lot of Spanish friends. You pick up the key words, you know. But te amo, mi amor.
I love you so much.
I love you too. So that's how our story started. And, you know, keeping together. My travels here is like every 10 days. So
Cuando Dios decide algo, lo decide y lo concreta. Porque nos vimos 5 días en abril. Yo no podía atenderlo bien porque estaba enferma. De abril a noviembre no nos vimos, solamente volvimos a ver para casarnos.
When God wills it, it's gonna happen. Because we didn't have the opportunity to see each other a lot. The first time that you came to Paraguay, you came only for 5 days, and it was not a right condition. But then the next time that you came, actually you came to get married.
Creo que esto es el verdadero amor porque nos amamos sin conocernos.
This is true love because actually we love each other without actually meeting and getting to know each other really well.
True. And over the year now, year and
Es
a
porque es
half,
un amor difícil. Él está allá, yo estoy acá. Lo bueno es que soy buena chica porque si no...
She says, this is a really true story and a really true love story because we are having a distance relationship. And thank goodness I'm a good girl.
yeah,
And then she left.
no, the giggle.
Yeah.
Aclaro, soy muy celosa.
Muy importante. Okay. La siguiente pregunta. Queremos un poco entender cuál fue el rol del intérprete que trabajó con ustedes en la boda, en el proceso de conseguir los papeles. Me gustaría un poco que nos comenten sobre eso. I would like now, we're going to go to the next part, which is like the interpreter part, like how important was the interpreter in your wedding, how you met the translator, and also the advice that this translator gave you during your process of getting the residency and translating documents. How was your experiences as a service provider?
Cuando fui a hablar con el juez, me dio la lista de los requisitos y me dijo que necesitaba un traductor certificado. Salí de allí triste y dije, ¿cómo hago? ¿Dónde consigo? ¿Dónde mierda? Ay. Bueno, entré a Google, entré a buscar en internet, me salió una chica y luego me saliste vos Francisco. No sé, cuando yo te vi, sentí un aprecio y un cariño muy especial, como si yo ya te hubiera conocido de otro lado. O sea, no, había una lista de personas y nombres de traductores certificados, pero cuando yo vi tu foto, sentí como un cariño, como si fueras mi hermano, como que sabía que vos ibas a ayudarme. Yo soy muy supersticiosa en esas cosas.
Okay. So she was saying that when she went out of the Vital Statistics office, she got the prerequisites, and one of them says that she was supposed to get a translator. And she started looking for certain options. And then she found a girl, then she found the other translator, which is me. And then when she saw my pictures, she said that this was the guy who's going to help us. Because she started feeling she has the superstition that this person is going to be a good person and that's going to help us.
Oh, that's great.
Y después cuando hablé contigo, te envié un mensaje y me respondiste el mensaje y fue tan cálido tu respuesta que yo dije, es él. Los demás, las 100 fotos de traductores que estaban ahí, o lo que estaban, no me interesaban. Eras vos.
See, I did not know how we found you, so this is all news to me.
Oh, okay. Let me just translate this one. So when she texted me, what she really appreciated was the way in which I greeted her, because I greeted her warmly and respectfully. And then when she saw the message, she said, I'm gonna get these other people aside and we're gonna work with this guy.
Okay.
Él sabe que soy muy supersticiosa y desde pequeña, no sé si llamarlo un don, pero siento la vibra de las personas. Desde pequeña siento, es como que cuando conozco a una persona, siento que lo conozco de otros tiempos, como que me cae bien.
Sí. Okay.
Y eso pasó contigo.
Perfecto. Okay, so any thoughts about the wedding day?
No, the wedding day?
Yeah, the wedding day.
We had to go back and forth to the judges' chambers, is what I would call it. It was crazy because we went one day and then the next day, more paperwork and more paperwork. Francisco, you helped us tremendously, and especially the translator app that, dignitaries use to translate foreign meetings. That was exceptional on your part, because the judge did not want to marry us unless we had a translator. And I'm like, well, we could use an app off of the internet, but it was better in person. You, I would say, have become more than just a translator for us, because I've brought to you over the period of time different documents, different things that I needed here in the country, plus changing personal things. So it's worked out very well for me as an American gringo. This country is warm. The people, just the people in general, how nice they are. You don't get that anywhere. I don't think anywhere in the world. I have traveled, but coming to South America, it's a different change of life.
Okay. ¿Alguna vez sintieron que el idioma era un impedimento para que su amor se fortalezca?
Para mí sí, al comienzo. Me sentí muy frustrada porque yo sentí que él quería hablar fluido conmigo y yo no, solo sé pequeñas frases. De hecho, cuando me propuso matrimonio, me sentí tan frustrada que le dije que quería separarme, que yo quería alejarme, que yo lo iba a bloquear de todas partes porque me sentía mal por él, muy, muy frustrada. Y él me dijo que por favor no le hiciera eso porque su mundo se iba a venir abajo, que él pasó por muchas cosas y que él confiaba en mí, que él confiaba en el proceso que yo poco a poco iba a poder aprender.
Let me ask you the same question, but before that I would like, first I'm going to tell you the question that I asked her, then I'm going to give her response, so then probably you can just compliment a little bit. So how was your relationship evolving, though the fact that you were not sharing the same language because of the language barrier? She said that she was feeling so frustrated because she doesn't know how to speak English and she only knows to use a few words or a few phrases, elaborated phrases. And actually she felt really frustrated when you proposed her to marry because she was feeling bad about you. So she thought that it was not going to happen, so then she blocked and she said, I'm not going to do this. And then you said, please don't do this to me. My word's going to fall down if you do this to me. I trust you. And then, of course, she felt frustrated because of the language barrier. This is her side.
I did not know that. The frustration comes. I mean, it's inevitable. She would hang up the phone quickly. I'm frustrated on video chats. But I understood that there's the language barrier and the distance. There's 4,000 miles between us. And the time that we spend on the phone means dearly to me. When I wake up, I want to be able to see her. I understand that she works and I work. So our time is very hard. And when I did want to marry Laura and asked her, I had to go shopping for a wedding band. And I found out what type of woman she was by what she wanted. Not the glitz and glamour, very simple. So it took me a little bit of time to find the right band.
Y aparte que somos de dos culturas diferentes. Como les expresé, yo soy del campo, yo crecí en el campo, dentro de una familia muy humilde. Y él es diferente a mí. Yo soy como el aceite y él es el agua. Pero él bajó su desnivel y se puso a mi categoría, a como yo soy. No intenta cambiarme. O a veces me dice, necesitas tal cosa, necesitas esto en tu casa. Le digo, no. Yo soy feliz con lo que tengo. Yo no necesito lujo, no necesito nada de eso.
She was saying that some things that, in her opinion, that she feels like she's a really simple person, that she's not glamorous, and that she accommodates And at the same time, she feels that you are the same kind of person, that you are not telling her what to do or to change things, but you accommodate in the same way.
Yeah.
She gave a comment on like sometimes when she was giving certain opinions in your house, like you need this and you know you need that, but then she says, I am happy with what I have, with just little things that I have, and
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Well, there are times that I see that I can make a change, and I do.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's inevitable with a relationship, like, you know.
De hecho, siempre le pregunto, ¿qué hace con una mujer tan sencilla? Siempre me lo pregunto, y se lo pregunto a él también.
The question that I always ask is like, what are you doing with a simple woman like me?
Oh. Enjoying my life.
En verdad lo que hago es disfrutar mi vida contigo. I'm gonna start using this.
Okay.
Vamos a comenzar a usar los equipos. La pregunta es, ¿qué significa Ron para tu vida? The question I'm gonna ask now is about what this person, this really important person means to you. So if you can define what Laura is in your life.
Laura has become everything in my life. In waking and sleeping. I mean, back and forth, the conversations that we have, it's incredible. I really take a liking to her simple life. I tried to push my American ways on her, and I think that causes a lot of frustration.
Bueno,
Yeah.
para mí, mi esposo es un ser maravilloso. Yo miro a las estrellas y mi esposo es una estrella. Es un hombre totalmente diferente. Es un ser maravilloso, bueno, encantador, sentimental. Para mí, él es mi vida. Siempre se lo digo a él, que el día que él no esté en mi vida ya no tiene sentido y tiene un final.
Wow. Thank you.
Mi esposo es el ser más maravilloso del mundo para mí. No me importa lo que opinen los demás, mi esposo es lo máximo para mí.
That's how I feel too. Yeah.
Te amo por siempre, cariño.
Tina, mi amor.
Disculpen, somos muy sentimentales.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
¿Cuál sería el mensaje que le pudieran dar a otras parejas en su misma situación? What is the message that you can give to someone having a relationship like you?
wow.
De mi parte yo les diría que no se frustren, que procuren, si Dios te lo da es por algo, y a ser feliz porque la vida es muy corta para estar sufriendo por tonterías. A ser feliz.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I would say that have patience. Put a lot of things to the side. Concentrate on your relationship. You know, whether it's a phone call, sending out a card through the mail, which takes a long time to get here. Yeah. And just have a graceful love towards one another.
En la vida no es todo el dinero. Hay cosas más importantes que el dinero.
True. Very true.
Porque yo me enamoré de él. Teniendo o no teniendo, yo lo amo. Y él sabe que a mí no me interesa esa cosa. Te amo, cariño.
Te amo, cariño.
¿Volverían a elegirle a Solita, a la empresa de traducciones? Would you like to work again with Solid? Why? Solid is our company.
Si
Oh,
me
yeah.
llegase a casar
If I
100
have to meet
veces,
100 times with Mr. Nowak,
si me llegase a casar 100 veces,
100 times.
volvería a elegir a Francisco y a Solit.
And Solid
You know, Francisco, that it's a great offer.
es una oferta genial.
And I'm sure that when I'm here permanently, there are other services that you're going to offer.
Estoy seguro que otro servicio lo vas a ofrecer.
You've definitely helped me.
Gracias, me ha ayudado muchísimo.
Confíen en la firma Solit, confíen en Francisco, que es un ser maravilloso.
He's a wonderful person. Thank you.
You're welcome.